Hello and welcome to another episode of Mid-Island Custom Diecast. My name is Evan. Today we're going to be working on a Corgi Junior's Raygo Rascal 600 cement roller. And as you will see, this is my first entry into the Beef Eaters monthly build-off. Take a look at it on the turntable here. It's got the blue and orange colors, obviously well played with, lots of paint missing. But all the pieces are there. The roller is in decent shape. Clean that up. Wheels are in decent shape. We'll clean that up, strip all the paint, and get going. So the one issue with this particular casting is, I don't know how I found it together, but the little rivet post there that holds the roller on is not holding it on. So we'll have to repair that. And I'll have to figure out how to get this roller off. That was a challenge to get off, but easy to get on. Anyway, let's move on to opening up the main part of the casting, the tractor, if you will. This one, wasn't sure how long the post was, so we just knocked the edges off. You can see here it's pretty short, so we're not going to drill it out or tap it. We'll glue it back together. Wheels look good. Plastic pieces in good shape on the inside. We'll give that a refresh. And here's the base piece. That's fine. And the main casting. Got some issues with the steering wheel. When they cast it, it had some flashing around the outside and in the middle. So I'm just going to clean that up before painting it with the needle file set and get ready to chuck it in the stripper. For old castings like this, I really like to use the caustic soda. That just cuts down on the amount of other stripper I have to buy. So we dump it in my foot-long hot dog jar, and you can see the orange paint comes off real fast. And the blue paint is not far behind it. You can see pieces floating around in there already. A little swishy swish, as Rob from Matchbox Garage says. And let that sit to do its thing and cool down. While that's working, we take the roller and the plastic wheels and interior engine piece, give that a nice soapy bath, and I take it out and brush it some with the toothbrush too, but did that off camera. Now we'll take I just got these in the mail. These are some neat little sponge sanders from 3M, just giving the roller a light buff, get out all the deep scratches. Then we'll move on to the plastic polish from Meguiar's with the soft cotton buffing wheel on the Dremel, and we get that all buffed up. We'll have a look at it in a second here. Nice and shiny. Put that off to the side. And here is the main casting with the paint removed. You can see that it's got some residue or toning on there. And some casting lines. Same with the base. Base is fine though. I'm just going to give that a paint. And very, very few casting lines on the roller assembly. So, take the wire wheel and give everything a little bit of a cleanup. First, the base or chassis, I guess, I don't know, bottom plate. Then the roller assembly housing piece. Go all over that, make it nice and clean. And then we'll go over the main base. This just gives me a chance to see casting lines and any real deep scratches or gouges or pits. This casting wasn't too bad for its age. Some casting lines, we'll take care of those in just a moment. Another thing I like to do is take this little pointy, skinny-ended wire brush and get all the little spots I can't reach with the wire wheel. So you can see here, it doesn't fit. I mean, it fits, but it's loose and it won't hold on, and that just won't do. It's kind of mangled. So I take a little grinding bit here and just knock off the edges so that I can glue on a piece of this aluminum tubing from K&S. can't remember the thickness, but I'm sure different sizes work for different castings. So pardon the camera. Anyway, we'll take the cutoff wheel, cut that down, give it a little light sanding on the file, and fit it over the hole. Then we've fitted in the piece to see how it fits, see how I cut it a bit long. So I'm going to take the Sharpie, mark it off, and cut it down again. After that's cut down, we'll take the Gorilla Glue and just stick it into place. Don't need to go the crazy JB Weld route here or anything. A little bit of super glue combined with the paint I'm going to put over it in a sec did just fine. Now here I am just working some of those casting lines and edges on the tractor part. Get out the round file, the flat file, the curved file, whatever gets in there. I use the dental picks, try and pick out that flashing in the wheel. Came out pretty nice. And the final step I like to do now, I don't know whose video I saw using these little wheels. Clean it up a bit. Now we'll throw some, I use the Tamiya white surface primer, fine white, whatever. And covered the engine and tractor casting piece. It's a tricky one, this one, lots of little recesses to get paint into, but turn it around nice and slow, quick little burst, make sure not to get too much paint on at once. There we go. Now the roller housing or assembly, just give it a nice light coat. I might have given these all 2 coats with a sanding in between, but we'll only show you one because you've all seen painting castings before, if you're even listening to me now. Here's the base piece, give that a nice coat, and I usually like to set my primer overnight and return to it in the morning. Let's be honest, not the morning, but the next day. Here is something I promised Jim Silva I would show him, so I'm including it in the video. It's the Molotov burner chrome spray can, and I wanted to try it. I knew that maybe chrome wasn't quite right for this engine piece and seat, but I think it turned out great. Now, you haven't seen me do this in a video before. This is really the first casting that I haven't stripped when using the airbrush. It's not a super expensive airbrush. It's really cheap, in fact. But I just don't have the time to practice to use it like I would like. But this one turned out good. Honestly, I just am impatient. I think I'm maybe too impatient for airbrushing. I want to get that paint on there and get to bed so that I can wake my 5-year-old up, and do all that crazy stuff that single parents have to do in a day. And I really only get an hour in the shop. But now I'm rambling. And anyway, here's me airbrushing and using a couple of different Tamiya paints, and I think it all turned out pretty nice. Now we'll just finish off painting the base and move on to some clear coat before putting it back together. Here's a quick shot of me putting the clear coat on, using the turntable for a change, which turned out quite nice, I think. And we'll go ahead and put it back together. All the pieces are looking pretty clean. The tires I put some Nuln oil on, and everything else is painted and ready to go. So I did this off camera, but just ground the aluminum tube down so it curved the edges over and held the roller in place. And because I didn't drill out the posts, with just a little dab of glue on there, and we'll put it back together and have a look at what we ended up with. Here it is, the first ever Mid-Island custom die-cast airbrushed casting for the Beef Eaters October 1st construction vehicles build. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you do, tell your friends, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff, and we'll see you next time.